did good in Blanchard, didn't he?
Yeah, you got full water now?
I had full water the whole time.
You have?
Yeah. You know, I'm going to...
Oh, yeah, well, they have full water. I had to triple, but I got full water back home.
Was it because it's frozen or because they had a leak? It's supposed to be frozen.
No, because I'm away from the heat. And then push it up. I'm on like big tank.
I never thought I lost water in ice. Water in my kitchen.
I didn't know what was a
Now my kitchen closed. That was only because I got a pipe that's close to the outside, but that was the only thing that froze. The rest of it started. No, I've been talking to the
Oh, yeah, thanks for breaking. I was right today.
You good, Dr.
Yeah, I tell you.
I was at work.
Steve just told me we're not gonna be here but 30 minutes.
That's it, yeah. It's gonna be
See, I didn't know that I would have never had to say.
Don't worry about it. I just want to make sure you're okay, okay?
I always get dark.
Okay.
I know, right? I'd rather come this meeting. Yeah. But no, yeah, it was nice.
How you doing?
Hey there, buddy. See you.
Yeah, got 1 minute.
I am. The babies enjoy the snow?
Good afternoon. The February 23rd, 2021 Caddo Parish School Board meeting is called to order. We'll have an invocation and pledge by yours truly. Please stand up. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you for everything you've done for us. Father God, please restore our city, restore our parish and our nation in this time, in these times. Father God, watch over our district and districts all around. Father God, keep your hand upon us. Lord, bless this meeting and have it to be what you would have it to be. In your Son's name I pray, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take this time to silence your electronic devices. We're going to have the roll call. Is that everyone, Miss Debbie? Did she say yes? Yes. Okay. Okay, we've got the consideration of minutes of the January 19, 2021 and February 2nd, 2021 Caddo Parish School Board meeting motion. Mr. Rochelle?
Move approval of the minutes of the January 19th, 2021 and February 2nd, 2021 Caddo Parish School meetings as submitted in electronic mail out.
Mr. Ryle?
Second.
It has been moved and second. Please vote. I just want to let let the record show that Mr. Albritton had some family that he needed to tend to, so I will be acting as chair today. Let's keep Mr. Albritton and his family in our prayers. Thank you. Alrighty. Dr. Gorey for presentations and recognition.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman, tonight. Because of time, we're not going to have any presentations or recognitions tonight. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so we're moving on to the public hearing on virtual discipline policy. I have to read. Yeah. Is anyone wishing to speak? Okay, alrighty. Alrighty, since we have no visitors, it's time to vote.
Rachel, does she still have to read the visitors thing?
You just ask if they're visitors, if they already did.
I can move on. Okay, good deal. All right, do we take that vote now, right?
Well, I gotta read the agenda.
Okay, Dr. Gorey, please read our agenda for today.
Thank you. At this time, I will read the the established agenda and proposed consent agenda. Starting with item 6.01, personnel recommendations. Item 6.02 on consent, personnel transactions, reports, and resignation. Item 6.03, personnel transactions, reports, requests for leave. Item 7.01, capital projects and construction. Item 7.02 on consent, purchasing. Item 8.01 on consent, property bus rental request. Item 8.02, 2019-2020 comprehensive annual financial report. Item 8.03 on consent, consideration of additional amendments to personnel evaluation plan. Item 8.04, consideration of Southern University Newton Smith lease renewal. Item 8.05 on consent, consideration of proposed revisions to Caddo Parish School Board Policy GBRIB sick leave. Item 8.06 on consent, approval of virtual discipline grid. Item 8.07 on consent, consideration of revision to Caddo Parish School Board Policy JDA prohibiting corporal punishment. Item 8.08 on consent, to consider and take action with respect to adopting a resolution recognizing the final form and execution of bond purchase agreement in connection with the issuance and sale of general obligation school bond series 2021 of the parish-wide school district of Caddo Parish, Louisiana, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Item 8.09, consideration of requests to Savage Tea Buildings. Item 8.10, consideration of authorizing staff to seek a RFQ for administrative hearing officers. Item 13.01 on consent, student readmissions appeal hearing. We do have one family, that family is in agreement. And last, item 13.02, litigation update, Patricia Pete Bolden versus Caddo Parish School Board, suit number 615217B, claim number 6778879. Thank you, Madam President. And now we'll go back over to see if we want to add anything.
Absolutely, thank you, sir. So is there anything that we need to add to consent? On 6.01?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 6.02 is on consent. 6.03?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 7.01?
Yes.
8.02? Did somebody say something?
I do have a question on that. Can that be presented to us as a board at some point in the future? The annual financial report?
Can we ask a question now?
Well, I tell you what, I'll leave it off of consent and let you come back and ask questions.
That's what we'll do.
Okay. Okay, we'll leave 8.02 off of consent. 8.03 is on consent, 8.04. Oh, it can't because of conflict, okay. Okay. 8.09,
Yes.
8.10.
Consent. I just want to visit and recognize.
Okay. 13.02. The family was in agreement.
Well, one is in consent. Mr. Abrams, can the legal, update be placed on consent?
Okay. So we agreed 13.02 is on consent? Okay.
Now just read.
Okay, so what was not on consent that will be placed on consent? 6.01, 6.03, 7.01, 8.02, no, we took that off consent.
It can stay on consent. It's
No,
just-
yeah,
it's a
yeah, I
separate
mean,
request.
yeah,
That doesn't require
so,
consent.
no, he said he wants to speak to it. He said put it on consent.
Consent's fine. It's a separate request to have it.
Okay, 8.02, we're gonna add that to consent. Okay, we can't put 8.04, we're gonna add 8.09, and we're gonna leave off, 8.10. We're gonna add 13.02,
Oh, one's already on consent. Oh, two, is that?
yeah,
You're right. So no, you don't.
okay. I need a motion to continue. Okay, Ms. Tramiel,
Move to establish the agenda and proposed consent agenda for the February 23rd, 2021 Caddo Parish School Board meeting as presented.
Mr. Little,
Second motion.
okay. It's been moved and second, can we have a vote? Mr. Green, okay. That leaves us to 8 point, oh, we gotta confirm the consent agenda.
You gotta vote on the consent.
Vote on the consent agenda.
So she needed a motion?
You gotta have a motion first.
Okay. Mr. Rao,
Move to confirm the consent agenda.
Mr. Rochelle,
Second?
it's been moved and second. We're ready to take a vote. All righty, that leaves us down to
Waiting on Dr.
Dr. Vincent, okay. That leaves us to a motion for 8.04. Mr. Rochelle?
Move to approve the request from Southern University Shreveport to continue the lease of the Newton Smith School site as recommended by staff and submitted in the electronic mail-out.
Mr. Mayo?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any questions, Mr. Rochelle?
He may want to
Or any
just say,
comment?
he may want to state why he's abstaining.
Okay,
I would
Turn it.
suggest that.
Turn it off.
okay.
Thank you, Board Member Michelle. I would have to abstain from this particular vote, given my employment. Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, thank you, sir. Mr. Rochelle?
Uh,
You're done. Ms. Tramayo?
Oh, no, no comment.
No other comments? We're ready to take a vote. All righty. That leaves us to 8. What's that, Ms. David? Mr. Green, okay. Okay, we're ready we need a motion for 8.10. Mr. Rochelle,
Move to authorize staff to seek RFQs for administrative hearing officers as recommended by board council and submitted in the electronic mail-out.
Ms. Tramiel.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Mr. Rochelle, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I actually got items mixed up, so none.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tramiel, any comments or questions?
No, I have none, we've already discussed this.
Okay, I'm moving to the board. I see Mr. Nation's on. Do you have any? No comment? Okay. All righty, we're ready to take a vote if there's no more comments or questions.
I would like a point of personal privilege.
Okay, after we take this vote, let me see. Has everybody voted? Well, while Mr. Green is voting, Mr. Rochelle has asked for a point of personal privilege. I will allow him that at this time.
Okay, I really would just like to take a moment just to recognize the changes that we had done previously in our bond sales and how all that was handled, and recognize both Michael Busada, who was with Butler and Snow, and Ken Ante, who was with Cruz and Associates. And I think that this has worked out very, very well. It's nice to see a lot of this coming local and us having such great participation. I just wanted to tell y'all, thank y'all, and this looks like it's working out very, very well for us. Just wanted to make sure y'all knew that.
Okay, good deal. We're down to Dr. Gorey, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, and also thank you, Mr. Rochelle, and we certainly agree and are really proud of the relationship that we formed, and also would like to recognize our representative from Foleyville also.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't know you.
We certainly want to be hospitable. We recognize you too, and we certainly do thank the leadership there of Foleyville in this situation, and really excited about this continued relationship. Very proud of the home team, though.
Reports, Dr. Gorey?
Yes. Thank you, Madam President. During Superintendent's report, I do want to certainly take some time, first off, to thank the board as well as my staff for the wonderful job that we did last week navigating through what none of us thought would happen. Again, it was clearly one of those once in a hundred year situations, but again, those are happening a lot more now. So really excited that we are a board that is prepared to respond in those situations. I do want to update the board a little bit because I know you do receive a lot of calls as to where we are with our schools. As you know, we have made the decision to shift to virtual instruction today. Really proud of the academic team and what they did to support our teachers and our principals and our families in this pivot to virtual education. You know, we've certainly told people it's not our goal to stress anyone out. We're going to do the very best we can, but very excited that the work that we've done in the last 11 months has prepared us for a time such as this. I do want to update you on our schools. You know, there are some certain challenges that come, even if you're operating new schools with the weather that we had, but certainly when you're operating schools with an average age of 62 years, there are some challenges that come with that. As of the beginning of this meeting and board, we do look to start updating you on a daily basis around some of these numbers for your information. But we do have schools with absolutely no water service, 11% of our schools with low water pressure. And in that respect, we're talking about not enough water pressure to flush a toilet is about 68% of our schools. Schools that have full pressure but are under the boiling alert is 21%. We only have one site in the school system, one, and that's Keyfield, that's not under the boil alert, and also that is not having any water issues. And that's because when we built Keyfield, we did our own water system there. So that's one that we totally control. out dealing with minor repairs. We have 27% of our campuses that have minor repairs. And even scarier, with major repairs, we have 19% of our campuses. Really proud of our operations team and the work that we did, even as we looked at last Thursday and Friday with pre-negotiating plumbers and hours and pre-buying services even before we knew what we would face, because we knew we would face something. So we do have those services out, and we do hope that we'll be ready to return to in-person learning on Monday. My team is, of course, working on a plan if we are not, if we're still under the boil alert, which is the big thing that's going to, that has to be considered in that conversation. It's hard to return to school when you don't have water to prepare food, you don't have drinking water. So our hopes is that by Monday, we will be from under that alert. But want you to know, as a board, we are looking at what are those alternative plans to food and to safe drinking water if we are not from under the boil alert. Certainly all of my conversations with the city indicate that we will be, but it's tough on the city too, because this is just unpredictable. I got to the point where I was, checking with, on my own home, because I don't have a drop of water in my own home, and check on my own home. You just got to the point after probably Sunday, you just stop asking, because it's unpredictable. And every day they would think it's going to come up, but there would be even more breaks that would happen in the system. I do want to quickly give you a financial report. I don't want to be the one to labor so long that we're here past our 30 minutes. But from a budget perspective, there are some things to truly celebrate in the respect that our sales tax are up 5.2%, which is about $2 million. If you compare this time from July to December of the previous year, and that's something to really celebrate. Property tax collections, those are pretty consistent, which doesn't surprise those of you that follow the real estate market on our board. We're also happy that our oil and gas royalty revenue, we are anticipating about $1 million more than what we had budgeted in that area too. And of course, we're continuing to monitor our staffing closely. Really proud of the job that my HR team is doing in really making sure that those dollars are monitored. A couple things I point out for the general purpose of the board and our community is with our insurance open enrollment dates have been extended. That is ongoing. Certainly understand that with the weather conditions, we do need to extend that time. I do know a lot of our retirees are reaching out for assistance, and we're certainly providing that. I want you to know that this benefits that we're enrolling for won't go into effect until April of 2021, and that really proud that, once again, there is no increase in our premium, and that is based on the job that this board and our insurance department has done in managing those revenues, especially that fund balance, as well as there's no change in, there are no real changes in the benefits health plan. We are requiring all employees to go on so that we do get a good start line as to those persons that qualify for insurance, and really that's just looking at how we manage this as we move forward. I do want to say too, though, that we've had some really good conversations around, since revenue, we've seen some positive spikes in revenue, beginning conversations, and we'll continue those around. Is this the opportunity where we do something to really reward all of our employees for the work that they're doing? So really playing with some one-time opportunities to really show our appreciation for our teachers standing up in a year like no other. If you look at even some of our attendance rates of our teachers, they're so impressive. And a lot of teachers say it's just too much trouble to miss when you have to write down instructions on how to pass out paper towels and all of those things that teachers are required to do that they hadn't done in the past. So we are in the early stages, but do look to bring some suggestions to this board about how we can reward all of our employees very soon. That does conclude the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Mooney. We're down to announcements and requests. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go to Mr. Mail, and I'm gonna come to you. All right.
Dr. Grady, I was glad to hear your report just a minute ago. And just reading, I know I'm not supposed to be reading while you were talking, but in Clayton, Georgia.
But where?
Clayton, Georgia.
Clayton, Georgia.
Clayton, Georgia. The board just approved the $2,000 pandemic bonus for all employees. So it's our prayer that we are looking with as much money as we can get that's coming in, maybe we can put something up for it.
Right, and we are looking to see how do we make sure, of course, we meet the financial needs of the board, but also to pay, show our teachers how much we do appreciate and acknowledge this situation. So that's the conversation where we've begun.
Okay, but they said all employees.
Right, and again, we do see this as an opportunity in all of our conversations.
I just wanted to ask.
We see no difference in what the bus driver's doing, what the teacher's doing, what our cafeteria people are doing. Everyone has gone above and beyond in this season.
All right, thank you so much.
But that is the same conversation we're having.
Oh, good.
Okay, Ms. Bell?
Okay, Dr. Goree, I have a different situation in my area with my school. Greenwood is a separate system, not from, they on their own water system, not Shreveport, okay? They are definitely having problems. I mean, it's to a point they're really bringing the challenge. What I'm looking at is by Monday, if my students are still without, and parents without, and everybody else is on, they just say Shreveport is on. Greenwood is not on in that area, and I have a lot of kids there. What would be the situation?
Right, and interesting enough, you mentioned I had opportunity to speak to Dr. Nash Robinson, who lives in that community, in her capacity at Magnolia, of course, but they are indicating that some of those homes won't have water until Friday. Even if we return to in-person learning, of course, the schools will be very flexible with students and families around their personal situations, and that's the same things that we're stressing this week. So that will be a family decision as to if they can, get the showers and get the children ready to attend school. That would be our hope. But there will be a flexibility around those families that are still out of water as we go into the week.
Is it possible, okay, if that many kids, would be just like we went virtual for all the kids? That's something to think about too, in that area, the ones that go to school in there, they're in Greenwood area.
Right, and I do understand that. There is, we really do need to get back to in-person learning as quickly as we can. Everyone's really knows that's what's best for children now. But again, Ms. Bill, in that situation, we will make those accommodations for those families.
Okay, and I just want to say, piggyback on what Ms. Tramiel said, I am so happy. Because these teachers, everybody, ain't no just teachers, everybody have really been going through something. And I don't care what it is, just to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank y'all for looking into that.
Right, thank you.
All righty. Mr. Little?
Thank you, Jasmine. And 3 quick things. First of all, not to tip my hand, but if there was a proposal for some sort of bonus for our frontline employees, I would support it wholeheartedly. We could call it combat pay, whatever you'd like to do. Number 2, I do want to thank administration for responding so quickly to the needs of repairs in the community. I called in a leak at South Highlands, and a truck was there within 2 hours. So if that's amplified throughout the parish, that is an amazing response. And then finally, if I could ask for some quick clarification, I did have some families in the community contact me asking about virtual schools when you were interviewed on Keel. The quote was, we will have virtual school for the rest of the year. And you also said, I even think we will go into next year, we're going to have virtual just for the mere fact that children won't be vaccinated. The perception was that it's virtual for all. If you could just clarify that it's
Absolutely
that's
not.
the case.
No, and when we speak to virtual school, it's a virtual school option. I am still, I'm still receive communications and talk to people in the community who, even as we roll out the vaccine because of their personal belief, they don't want to do the vaccine or certainly don't want their children to have it. So there's going to be probably a need for virtual schools. What I've committed to and what I've charged the academic team to do is look at what are those ways that we can meet the needs of those people interested in virtual learning, but return our school environment back to a normal setting. So we're looking at removing that double teaching kids in class and on Zoom from teachers. That's what we're moving towards. So we're looking at alternatives. And 2, look to present something to the board on that probably as soon as March around what are those things that we'll be offering next year. But again, thank you so much for the clarification. It was not virtual for all, but it was just that there will be an option for those families who still are interested in virtual instruction. And if you think about our virtual school, we've had that offering for families for probably 4 years now. The conversation now is how do we expand upon that to meet the needs of those families that are interested in virtual. But we too look forward to returning our classroom teachers' situations back to what they were trained to do.
I think they'd be very appreciative. And thanks for clarifying.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Nations.
Dr. Dwyer, I was encouraged by your report, several positive bullet points that you mentioned, especially the possibly unexpected increases in revenue. And if that does, you mentioned the conversation that has been begun about rewarding our frontline workers, especially our teachers. I'll go ahead and tip my hand, Don Little. I would voted for that for days. I would be all about that. I can't imagine how difficult it's been for our teachers. Children, yes. Parents, yes. Everybody, yes. But teachers are on the front lines, and that's not exaggerating the point either. Teachers are right up there with first responders, if you ask me. I mean, they're of that level of commitment and expertise and how impactful their job is. And so anything we can do to help them that's reasonable and is fiscally responsible, I'm all about it. So I'm glad those conversations have begun. So,
Thank you. And really happy to hear you mention fiscal responsibility. I remember in corporate America, one of the things that I just did not see in my personality was the whole profit margin. So I always looked for an industry that was about service where profit was not the measure. However, I'm charged, of course, in this respect with being very fiscally responsible, but we do look to take our opportunity with extra revenue to show the appreciation, but also to remain fiscally responsible. So we will be, of course, keep that in mind as we decide on what those amounts will be.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before I go to you, Ms. Tharp, the attorney has come on to the board. Go ahead, Mr. Abrams.
Yeah, we've had several discussions, conversations, and the term bonus has been used. As we all know, there's no such thing as a bonus in governmental, as far as the governmental agencies cannot give bonuses, so there's no such thing as a bonus in governmental agencies. So whatever we do will have to be in accordance with the Constitution, which we certainly make certain that happens. But you can't do it if there's no such thing as a bonus. Okay? There is supplemental pay and ways to do those types of things, but it is not a bonus.
Right, and staff is aware of that.
Make that clear.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abrams. Ms. Tharp?
Okay, I'm sorry. I think we're not at announcements yet.
Yeah, well, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I'm proud to say that the Uri Drive boys basketball team won city championship.
Oh, congrats.
So that's a good. And then I think there was something that happened at Captain Shreve, a backboard was shattered, or I think it got really exciting. Anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tharp.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that backboard is I just picked my daughter and a friend of hers up from the game because they danced that night. And it was, these kids, they truly live by their social media. So they get in the car and both of them are just on different sites and they're like, oh, they just shattered the backboard. So they just missed the shattering of the backboard. And again, to that respect, my daughter was so impressed, Mr. Greer, with how quickly it was fixed. By the next morning, they were replacing the goal because everyone wanted to go and see the goal, and it was fixed really fast. So thanks,
And I did also want to just say thank you for putting the basketball goals back up at Arthur Circle so quickly. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always good to be responsive to the community.
Yeah.
All righty, thank you, Ms. Tharp. Mr. Ryle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask Dr. Dwyer, what is our latest update on getting our teachers and staff in schools vaccinated? What's the latest on that?
Thank you so much. What a great question. Really excited that we're utilizing this week to really expand upon that opportunity. As you know, we have a group of teachers that pre-register. That was about 2,600 teachers. Starting tomorrow, there will be mobile units at Huntington that will vaccinate teachers, and I don't want to start naming them. It's about 200. I do know this was Huntington, Turner, Walnut Hill. Those teachers will all have an opportunity to go through there, and those are the pre-registered teachers. Now, there will also be one at Southwood High School, and it's pretty much, that one's going to take care of Southwood and those elementary schools in that community. And I may be missing a school as I list those off. But more importantly, I think that we've worked very closely with Dr. Vancheri and his team, and we've expanded the opportunities at Shivyland this week to where our teachers can go through and register now to go to Shivyland from 9 to 5 every day this week. Also, on Saturday, we're doing a 9 to 5 for only Caddo employees at Shivyland. Also, you can go, of course, to the fairgrounds or to any drugstore. So our goal is to utilize, you hear the thing, never let a crisis go without a victory. We're really encouraging and pushing this message to our teachers to use this time this week while they are virtual to go and take advantage of the vaccine opportunities. And again, our goal is to get as many of our people those vaccines as we can. Speaking to those persons that pre-registered, if you don't get registered this week, we will continue to go around to the individual sites over the next, what I think will be 2 to 3 weeks. And I really want to, publicly thank Mary Nash Wood, Catherine Lassiter, and Mr. Burton, who've all put a lot of extra time into orchestrating what we're doing to get this opportunity to our teachers.
I'd just like to say, I think Dottie, I know, and Dr. Gozart and myself all had all our vaccinations and didn't. And you had yours? Yeah, I mean, well, great. We're doing it.
You didn't grow any legs?
And it's a very easy process. We're at the fairgrounds, took like 30 minutes each time, nothing to it. Maybe a little sore arm, that's about it. Second shot, maybe just a little light fever, but that's it.
Well, and I will tell you, even if we look at the number of persons that are interested from the December, you remember the last week of December when we first did the sign up, we did a second sign up, and even past that, we're getting so many more people that are expressing an interest in taking the vaccine. So, and I think we all want to race to that herd immunity number so we can go on vacation.
You done, Mr. Ryan?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Ms. Bell.
Announcement, since I want y'all to I want to congratulate, and everybody congratulate Huntington Raiders girls. They are number 2 in the state. They playing tonight, and they're gonna play Thursday, and then they're going to the state. And we're looking for a championship. The girls are really doing a great job, so please congratulate them, and we're gonna win this one.
All
We
right.
get too close every year, so we're gonna make it this year.
All righty.
Huntington Raiders girls.
I think Captain Schrader's girls play tonight too.
They're in different leagues.
Different.
I guess I want my girls that too bad.
All right, you done, Ms. Bell?
I'm done.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mayor.
I have a question, Dr. Gray. I was trying to make sure I understood when you were giving locations of the sites where you can go and get your vaccine. It sounds like they're all in the same area. What's wrong with that picture?
They're only at the fairgrounds in Shivyland.
No, when you name the school.
Oh, no, we're going to every school eventually. We started at schools with the biggest numbers of people.
Oh.
And again, the reason why we did that, thank you.
Let me say this, so you won't take up this. I just want to make sure we were working,
Yeah, but when we work with Dr. Vancheri's office, their goal is to cover as many people as they can this week. And that's why we kind of grouped together those schools, and it just so happened to be your bigger schools where that happened. And that's why they set up in those
But
areas.
it just sounded like it was all in Dottie's area. I just want to understand.
Now, you could have said because I was in the district. Right, but actually, the sites are, a lot of those, really the fairgrounds is the place to go, because they're about, they've
I
added
just want to
extra
make sure
mileage.
that I got several calls and teachers that are already, they've gone to the fairgrounds and they received it.
Good. And we want to encourage people at all of your schools, even if you've already signed up with the district, go, because we are cross-referencing the list every day, so we can take you off right away. So if you're at another school, because it's going to take about 3 weeks to actually get to all the schools, but in making those decisions is we get where we had the biggest numbers, because we want to get as many people taken care of as possible. You got it, Dr. Those are after Mr. Little.
All right, hey, can I go to Dr. Dozart? Of course. All right, go ahead, Dr. Dozart.
Right. Can you hear me from here?
I can, but you still have to get in your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Hold on 1 second.
It's on, the light on. It's on, yes, I'm speaking. Oh, okay, thank you. Am I speaking into it now? Yes, on. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I just wanted to say I didn't have that big a problem when I was coaching Lee. Basketball girls and track team won city district championships. It was no problem. What's so hard about winning? Thank you.
All right, Mr. Little.
Thank you, Jasmine. I just briefly want to thank LHSAA and LSU for revising their state meet date. It was originally Saturday, which would have been a very difficult attempt for many people in Northwest Louisiana to show up. And we had kids from all over the parish, and many of them placed. And for many of them, I think it would make a difference in terms of college placement, scholarships, and that sort of thing. So again, I want to extend gratitude towards them for revising the meet date.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mayor, Madam Chair, I would like to move to adjourn. We have a motion on the floor to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Ryle.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded. Let's take a vote.
Okay.